Next, the Bears are set to take on the Bucs as Chicago looks for win number 6 in their last 8 against Tampa. It's a Week 7 clash in the NFC, and it's coming your way next.
Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Chicago Bears. Alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Time to see what this Tampa Bay Bucs offense has in store. They're led by the now 7-time Super Bowl champion, the MVP of Super Bowl 55. Charles, it's Tom Brady.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down. A shotgun give to Fournette. Only able to get it to his own 20 after breaking through the contact. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Brady. Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out now for their first drive with Justin Fields, the rookie from Ohio State, at quarterback.
And just a few years after the Bears made a big move at quarterback, taking Mitchell Trubisky, they did it again this year, moving from number 20 to number 11 in the draft to select Justin Fields out of Ohio State. This offense was just 26 in total yardage last year, so they needed some production. Justin Fields, 63 touchdown passes his last 2 years at Ohio State. They're expecting him to be their guy for the future.
Fields on first down. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw is Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Throwing the out route and complete. That's Montgomery. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now Fields. And that will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about. Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On play action, it's Brady. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This defense for the Bears, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Now Leonard Fournette. This defense for the Bears, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. 1, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Brady's throw there complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. 2nd and 5. Fournette once more on 2nd down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. And Suckup will put this one right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On first down, it's Fields. Caught right side, Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. A shotgun snap, Fields. Flush to his right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll check on his status when we get back. Off play action, Fields. Hit as he throws, and the ball is out. It's a live football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again, able to retain possession?
He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Here's Fields. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Golden Tate, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play, one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the...
Mike Evans, he's going to go past the 20. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. Well, I mean, Mike Evans, he's been an elite receiver for some time now. And part of that, Charles, certainly what he can do once the ball is in his hands. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Leonard Fournette, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. Ryan Suckup on for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. To throw again on second down. Fields. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
It shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Succop for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he...
Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Fields now to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one big
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Antonio Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point try now for Succop. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And I guess right now as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be, exactly what you've said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Well, they disrupted already for 3 INTs. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. His throw incomplete.
But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not, well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you've got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Sam Darnold leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Next, we head off to check out another game, and that one's at halftime with the visiting Lions out on top. Jared Goff with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Tua Tagovailoa, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final preparations being made for the second half, both in terms of game plan and also hydration, because humidity is really going to catch up to these guys, no doubt. And for the call of the second half, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a give running right is Montgomery. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And the Buccaneer defense for the 2nd straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Here's Fields.
The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Fields. That's complete to Mooney.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Montgomery back to the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. A give. This is Montgomery. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Fields. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will close the gap down to 14. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Taking it about the 1. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Brady's throw pulled in by Gronkowski. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Rob Gronkowski, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Suck up for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul able to record his 5th sack of the season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Big hold of the and he coughed it up, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start him up again. So I think he may want to keep him cranking high right here.
On first down, Brady. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Brady gives this one off to Jones. Powering his way forward. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 47 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell him to back off of being aggressive. But sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose. And just as you said, and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers are looking like they'll move to 6-1 as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Onto the field now come the Bears.
And that unbeaten record very much in jeopardy. It's been a great first few months of the season so far, but they have run into a buzzsaw here, trailing big in the 4th quarter. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting.
And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
2nd down and goal. Brady. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I'd have to say we're all a little bit surprised there because at his age, with his speed, or should I say lack thereof, the only rushing touchdowns I would expect are on quarterback sneaks. But here, he found all of his guys covered, and he said, why not? And by the way, if that doesn't fire up your team to see the veteran like that risking his body for the touchdown, I don't know what will.
Extra point try now for Succop. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
From the gun, here's Fields.
He completes it to Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
And that's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Fields.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And on 4th down, honors the punt team, sending this one away. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
Now it's Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Again, Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah. He needs better protection, that's for sure. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Buccaneers, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.